All right, let's just jump right in. We're going to frame this whole thing as a kind of fictional debate, a way to tackle one of the biggest questions facing us right now. And that question is this. In an age that's just dominated by AI, what's left for us? What is the essential role for humans? That's really the heart of what we're digging into here. So to get our heads around this, we're going to imagine a debate between two, let's call them legendary mindsets. Think of them as being inspired by famous shogi masters. You've got one side that's all about human intuition, and the other, it's all about pure, cold calculation. First up, we have what we'll call the Habu perspective. And the core worry here is pretty profound. It's this idea that if we're not careful, if we just chase efficiency above all else, we could end up with, well, empty rationalization. A world that's perfectly optimized, sure, but completely stripped of meaning, creativity, and, freedom. But then you have the counter-argument, the Fujii perspective. And this side says, hold on a second. We can't really talk about this stuff with vague philosophical ideas. If we actually want to move forward, we have to break the problem down into definable, understandable parts. You got to define the problem before you can even think about solving it, right? Okay, so you've got these two totally different ways of thinking. How do they even start to tackle a question this huge? Well, they start by defining the playing field. They've got to agree on the terms of the debate first. And this really lays out the fundamental clash, doesn't it? On one hand, you've got the Habu-style thinking, all about intuition, the big picture, and protecting human values. On the other, the Fujii style is about calculation, optimization, and creating clear systems. So it's a real philosophical showdown. Do we protect the messy, beautiful, unquantifiable parts of being human, or do we build a logical, efficient system where everyone and everything has a clearly defined role? So, the Fujii approach puts a framework on the table to make this concrete. The idea is, let's break down all human work into just three main buckets. Judgment, that's basically making decisions. Creation, coming up with new stuff. And governance, which is all about managing the whole system. The thinking is, if we analyze these three areas, we can start to figure out exactly where humans are supposed to fit in. But of course, the Habu view fires right back, and the counterpoint is absolutely crucial. It says you can't just neatly separate things like that. Take creation, for example. It isn't some isolated task. It's tangled up with our entire history, our culture, our values. If you just hand that over to an AI to optimize, you risk, well, homogenization. A future where everything is just a bland, efficient copy of everything else. And that brings us to what might be the most important piece of the entire puzzle, the rules of governance. Because when you get right down to it, this whole thing really hinges on one question. Who gets to design the rules? Okay, this is a really key concept, the evaluation function. You can think of it as the AI's core programming, its set of rules and values for making decisions. It's like its moral compass or its operating system for reality. And the question becomes, who designs this function? Who gets to write that code? Because let's be real, whoever designs the evaluation function is literally designing the future. So, to deal with that massive responsibility, the Fujii perspective proposes a clear architecture for governance. For any of this to work, for us to trust it, three things are non-negotiable. First, transparency. We have to be able to see how it works. Second, independent verification. Other people have to be able to check the work. And third, clear responsibility. When things inevitably go wrong, we need to know exactly who is accountable. No black boxes allowed. But even if we build the most perfect, transparent system, there's still a danger, right? A risk of optimizing away something essential. So the next phase of this debate is all about protecting the human factor, those weird, wonderful qualities that an AI just can't replicate. And this is where the Habu view really shines. It makes the point that the best choices aren't always the most efficient ones. Think about it. So much of our beauty, our art, our ethics, it comes from what you might call human randomness. It comes from trying things, failing, wandering off the path. Progress isn't a straight line. So we have to protect our ability to be messy, to be inefficient, to not always be optimal. And if that's true, it has massive implications for how we teach our kids. I mean, if AI can spit out all the correct answers in a millisecond, what's the point of rote memorization? A new educational focus is desperately needed, one that cultivates uniquely human skills. We need to teach people how to be resilient, how to handle uncertainty, because in an AI world, that is our true competitive advantage. So where does that leave us? How do you possibly resolve this clash between cold hard efficiency and, well, the beautiful chaos of being human? This is where the debate leads to a really elegant solution, a kind of two-layered endgame. And here it is. The proposed solution is a two-layer governance model. Just look at how this is broken down. You've got the short-term layer, which is all about optimization. It's fast, it's efficient, it's run by markets and business. But then you have the long-term layer. This one is all about preserving our culture and values. It's slower, more deliberate, and it's guarded by public institutions. It's a genius way to get the best of both worlds, right? You get the speed and power of AI-driven markets, but it's all guided by a deeper, more human-focused wisdom. So, as our fictional debate starts to wrap up, this two-layered model really helps crystallize what our purpose is. It seems to all boil down to three absolutely essential human roles. So what are they? Number one, we are the value selector. We are the ones who decide what's important, what goals the AI should even be trying to achieve. Number two, we are the source of creativity. We bring the novelty, the unexpected ideas, the human randomness we talked about. And finally, number three, we are the system supervisor. We're the ultimate backstop, ensuring the whole thing is accountable. These three roles, that's our job description in the AI era. So at the end of the day, the AI has its instructions. It has its evaluation function. But our job, our essential human role, is to write our own instructions first. So the final question isn't about the AI's programming. The real question is for you. What are your instructions?